advance. In the line. Right! Hand! Order! And! Stand! Hey!
Mr. Gruben?
Sir?
Dazelinski?
Sir?
Schimmel? San Rosenberg?
Sir?
Call this bloody roll.
Field, sir.
Mrs. Gruber?
Sir?
Dazelinski?
Sir?
Schimmelfennig?
Sir?
Levinson?
Sir?
Auerbach?
Sir?
Rosenthal?
Sir?
Tausig?
Sir?
Berliner?
Sir?
Levinson?
Yes, they all have names like those. This company, which I command, is almost entirely composed of German and Austrian anti-Fascists. It is one of the 15 alien companies in the Pioneer Corps, and they are all volunteers. Each man has been subjected to the racial and political persecutions of his own country. For them, the war started in 1933 when Hitler came to power. They have gone through the hardest trials a man can endure for his convictions, and their loyalty to our cause is absolute. Carry on, Comrade Sergeant. Yes, we are a funny lot. Have a look at our family tree. Take the name of this man. It had to be blacked out before we started to take this film. This man has relatives in Germany and Austria who would be open to retaliation if the Gestapo knew that he had joined the British Army. Many of them are in the same position. Many of them have served in the jails and concentration camps of the various countries of Europe when Hitler overran their countries. Take Mayer, for instance. Now, he's a mathematician. Mayer has worked out the total sum of time that our fellows have served in jails and behind barbed wire. What is it, Mayer?
125 years, 7 months and 6 days, sir.
What was your share?
Only 2 months and 6 days, sir. I have been very lucky, sir.
And so was Corporal Kretschmer. How long were you locked up, Kretschmer?
6 months and 5 days, sir. I've still got my release ticket from concentration camp Dachau. Here it is with fingerprints and all. Right thumb, left thumb, shaven head. I prefer this one.
For God's sake, don't get them mixed up with the red caps, check you. Yes, we are a funny lot. Half ex-jailbirds and proud of it. 2.5 years ago when this company was formed, with the horror still fresh in their minds, we had certain difficulties to overcome. Back in 1939...
What's your name? What's your name? All right. You're not in a concentration camp now. Come on, pray, dress properly next time.
Yes, sir.
And get this into your heads, all of you. The past is the past. You're in a free country now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was always yes, sir. It took us months to re-establish their self-confidence. But now they're all right. Would you like to see some of the work we do? Since we began in 1939, we've done all sorts of jobs. After France, forestry in South Wales. Then demolition work in London during the Blitz, for which we were thanked for the special order of the day. From destruction, we turned to construction. And this is one of the new army camps that we are building. Yes, building is more fun than demolition. They like it. And they are damn good at this job, though they are not professionals. This, for instance, is Corporal Usilli, one of our expert constructors. Before the war, he was only a stockbroker in Prague. Young Beerbohm, he was a student of chemistry in Munich, 2 years concentration camp. Sergeant Heller, a barrister from Danzig, 10.5 months prison in Moabit. The two brothers Hartmann, members of the Schutzband, the Austrian Workers' Anti-Fascist Defense Organization. 5 years of prison between them. Private Mueller, watchmaker from the Black Forest, active trade unionist, 2 years of prison. Winskevich, he won the Iron Cross in the last war. Hitler rewarded him with 6 months concentration camp. And this is Corporal Drucker. His scars and his glass eye are the legacy of being kicked by a horse when he was in a crack Austrian cavalry regiment. The dragoons, wasn't it, Drucker?
Yes, sir. I was kicked twice. Once by a horse and once by Schickelgruber. I prefer the horse.
This is Schechter. The Gestapo refused him a passport, so he and his friends formed a bogus football team and wangled an invitation for a match against the Grasshoppers in Zurich. They actually got the permit to go to Zurich and represent Nazi football abroad. 14 men with fake names who had never kicked a ball in their lives, all wanted by the Gestapo.
Here, boys, come along!
This is Sergeant Gimple, one of the 5 alien sergeants in our company. The other 5 section sergeants are British regulars. This 50-50 mixture proves an excellent working arrangement in all alien companies. Corporals and lance corporals are all aliens. This is how they spend their morning break. Yes, they are great football fans, these Continentals. We even have an international star among them. That's him, Charlie Ehrlich, former centre-forward of the Dachau Sports Club, one of the crack teams of Austria. But the Nazis abolished professional football in Austria simply because the Austrians were better than the Germans. And now we'll take you into another camp and into another time. This is Private Proskar, a volunteer in the 6th Hussars in the Kaiser's army back in 1914. Here he's already on horseback in the 86th Mounted Regiment. Look where the picture was taken. The Germans have invaded Russia. There is snow on the ground. But in 1914 they were better equipped for the Russian winter. Commandante 151, Headquarters 151 Company. And this is 1942. Proskar has become a militant anti-Nazi and has joined up again at the age of 50, this time in the British Army. Now he is guarding the working site where this company is doing its most interesting job. This is the coast somewhere in England, where every inch of ground has to be made safe against the invader. We are helping to make it safe. We are mounting a battery of guns on this site, and when we have finished the job, the Royal Artillery will take over from us. This gun is ready, and this one will be ready in a few days. We are very proud to be engaged on this work. It is, of course, much more exciting than demolition or plumbing, so everybody volunteers for it. They are a selected lot of men who work here. There is a man you ought to meet. Spooner.
Sir?
Spooner was the amateur bantamweight champion of Europe. Bobby, tell these people some of the things which happened to you.
Well, sir, I was in Vienna when Hitler took over. I was arrested with many other Jews and sent to Dachau. I was there a year. Then I got out and came here. That is all.
That is not all, Bobby. Tell us a bit more about what happened to you in Dachau. You still can't use your hands properly, can you?
Yes, sir. It's almost all right, sir. That was 4 years ago. It is not nice to talk about it.
I know, Bobby, but I want these people to hear. Let's get Dr. Bear to help you with your story. Dr. Bear.
Sir?
This is Sergeant Bear, an Austrian doctor who was in Dachau together with Spooner. Will you explain what they did to Bobby, Dr. Bear?
Not only to Spooner, sir, but to thousands of others. Hanging on a tree is one of the minor punishments in a concentration camp like Dachau. It was done like this. Imagine this is a tree. You see, you can die of it, or you get through it without any lasting damage. It all depends on how the SS man fixes the rope on your wrists. If he does it badly, he dislocates your shoulder or breaks your hands. Spooner was a bit unlucky, because he was hung sort of lopsided, so that only his right toes touched the ground. This goes on for 1, 2, 3 hours, sometimes even longer. Well, Bobby, tell these people why you have been punished.
Why? For nothing. You see, I going with my barrel.
With your wheelbarrow?
Wheelbarrow, and I find Vogel.
A little bird?
Yes, a little bird, and I put it in my wheelbarrow, and I don't notice behind me standing an SS-man, and he shooted, "Hey, what you doing?" And I don't know what I should do, and he write my number, and 2 days later, I have my punish, hanging on the tree.
What Bobby did not tell you is that he will never be able to box again. But we are not a gloomy lot. We have lots of entertainment in the evenings. This is our own orchestra. Listen to this song. It is sung to this very day by the prisoners in the concentration camp at Dachau. It was written by a young Austrian poet in the camp, whom the SS men eventually killed. Bitterest the barbed wire. All around us charged with death. Keep your step, comrade. Lift your head, comrade. And always think of the day, comrade, when the bells of freedom will ring. The day when they were first given rifles was a great day for these men. Before, the only weapons they had were iron bars. That was after Dunkirk, when weapons were scarce. When we began, we had no arms at all. We went to France with the BEF merely as a labour company to unload munitions and reload them when France collapsed. Our military training began after we came back. Training is done in their spare time, and the men are immensely keen on it. They know that they run greater risks than ordinary British soldiers, for if captured, they are executed at once. But when volunteers for overseas were called for, 80% of them signed this declaration.
I hereby certify that I understand the risks which have been fully explained to me, to which I and my relatives may be exposed by my employment in the British Army outside the United Kingdom. Notwithstanding this, I certify that I am willing to be employed in any theatre of war.
These men will never surrender. They know by bitter experience what they are up against. For them, there is no going back. Every shot they fire is a shot against the ghosts of their past. At last, these men are on the right side of the barbed wire. At last, they are on the right side of the gun.
Turn next side. Run! Head!